Hello everyone and welcome to day 4 of our Introduction to Chalk Art course. In today's video we're going to be looking at how to design another cartoon character using chalk art, and we're going to be looking at how to create flesh tone using multiple layers with colors such as orange and yellow and brown, and including white in between, and how we use multiple layers of color to create flesh tone, while also looking at dark outlines that can be used to give a pop to our cartoon characters. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera and let's get started. So just as we talked about with the first session that we did with our first character, we always start off with looking at construction lines, right? The shapes behind the characters that we're drawing, or the character that we're drawing. So in this case, I have my reference photo right here that we're going to be using for today's image. So I'm trying to start, just as I did last time, with looking at the construction lines. If I'm looking at the shapes and construction lines behind this character, I see that he's probably composed of two balls. So I'm going to go ahead and make the first one right about right here, two spheres, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and make a second one right down below. Just like that. Okay? Now, we have two spheres here. Going to the outline of our character. When I'm looking at these, I'm going to go ahead and just try as best I can to go straight down the middle here for our construction lines. I probably want my hairline to be about right there, between the shades or slightly under, right? Probably end about right there. Which means I want my nose to be within this region, and my mouth to start about right here, and to go down to about this zone. So let's go ahead and look at the face, right? We have these three different sections. So just as we talked about last time, the face is going to be composed into three sections for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. We go ahead and create the bridge right here for our sunglasses. All right, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to go down right through about right here, go down through here, go right over there. And now what you're seeing right here is the outline of the shades for our character. So now, I'm going to create two small dots about right there, with dashes almost, or where the nose is going to be. Cheeks are pushing up, it's coming straight down through here, mouth to be about right there or so. And really we're almost looking at this sort of turnip shape, upside down turnip shape for the head right there, okay? Symmetry. And then for our headphones, they're really basically the ears. They practically are the same thing that we're looking at right here, going out. Okay? Outline pushes out a little bit for the headphones, albeit just about right out there. Same sort of deal. So we got our headphones. These go back. And really they're connecting across. Of course, that's going to get cut out by the hair. The hair that we're looking at is one sort of motion, like that. It's just this flowing across the head. But that means that it's cut up into several different sections, just as we're going to see with the hair, the facial hair that we're going to be making down below here. Facial hair down here may be one shape, that is true. It might be like this, where it goes out and comes all the way down here. But just because it's like that does not mean that when it comes down to the finite details, it's going to be the same way. It doesn't mean it's one shape either. It could be three different sections for that matter. And that's what we're seeing right here. we're seeing one main section, which is coming out about there. We're seeing a second section, which is about right there, and third section, which comes right down. Same thing. Same as with the hair that we see right here. It's about this one fluid shape. It's going up right about right there. You're seeing a second shape, which is coming down to about right there, going across, and a third shape, which cuts off to the fourth part right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And that goes the same way around right there. So now that we've got the basic outline of the character, we can go ahead and look at the actual details within the character and start to flesh this out a bit more. So I've gone ahead and filled in the shades. Let me talk about how this works right here. As we saw with the basic outline that we had in white, it was basically the exact same shape right here. I filled in almost the entirety of the shades, which is just a simple shade of black, except for the glare marks. So let's talk about the glare marks. As you can see right here, there's several lines of white. What we're dealing with is the reflection from the light source that we're dealing with on the shades. So you're going to leave 1, 2, 1, 2. Both sides, 2 strips. We're going to be able to fill those in with white. So these 2 sections are going to be filled in with white, and we're going to go ahead and do that later. So just go ahead and fill in right here these shades with black, with the exception of those 2 white lines right there. So now let's go ahead and look at the head. It's going to be, this sort of semicircular shape right there. I'm going to go ahead and mark this right here, which is going to be this area, okay? I'm now going to extend that out a little bit more. I'm going to move over from side to side. I'm going to reach in slightly. I'm going to pull back out. I'm going to go in slightly, go back out. So that's going to be the area in which we're going to have the hair reaching in, right, on the brow. Just like that for both sides. So let's go ahead and fill these in. I'm going to grab a little bit of black, go right on over to here. Right. Okay. Going right here. Going right down through here. Coming down. Pull the excess off. And there we go. So that's going to be our little area right there that's going to be shaded in. Now, let's talk about down here, right down below. Well, we're looking at outlines, so I'm going to grab these 2 lines, pull these right in for the character right here. It's going to be the outsides of the face, leading right to the headphones that we've got. Okay. Same deal with the cheeks down here. We're going to go straight down, grab this, you're going to pull out with the cheeks, okay? We're going to go up, inward slightly, and come back down, up, back to about right here. You can see that's slightly off-centered, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust that a bit. About right here actually. We'll go ahead and see if I can find what I like right here. Right back down. So that's about okay for right now. We can go ahead and fill the rest of that in later. Look back and see if I like that. Yeah, that's about good. So that's going to be our outline for the face right there. The rest of that's going to be filled in with flesh tones, so I'm going to go ahead and erase some of this area that's kind of reaching on the inside of that. I'm going to go ahead and blend right in here. There we go. Now, we talked about sections. So how's that going to work? Sections for this, we're going to go ahead and outline the underlying parts of the headphones for right now. We're going to go ahead and grab our black, and we're going to make the outline of the fur, or the hair, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, like that. I'm not worried about making it even, because I want it to be pretty organic. So I'm just sort of moving in this direction here, going down, up a little bit, pulling back in. Going up out here, 1, 2, 3, 3. Just like that, as you can see. So it's going all the way around. So let's now go ahead, move on to the next outline. For the next outline, we're going to be moving up top towards the headphones up here. We talked about cartoons, we're talking about outlines, right? So we're talking about outlining every single part of the drawing that we're doing. So that goes with the same up here. We're going to go down through here, pull this in, just like through that, go down, pull that in. Right here, pull that in, going up here, going out, just a little bit. Go over that with some red afterwards. There we go, we've outlined it a bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and outline this portion right up here. Leave a little bit of room for the white. There we go. And that's going to be covering, that's going to go right into that. Go right into that. There we go. Same for that side. So we just made the headphones right there, which means that this section that we've got going from there to there can be filled in black. And actually what I think I might do is I might pull these up. No, that's fine. I like that. Yeah, we'll go right here. Pull that in. Because we can fill in these sections right here and right there. Okay, going out over here, filling the outline. I'm just going to blend this all the way around. Right here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the black that we've got right here and start to outline the hair up top, since we're going to start filling out these sections. So what we can do is we can go up right here, come on down, 1, 2. That's going to form the first section. The second section is going to be up 1. It's going to go out really far, come back in, out, pull back over there. 1, 2, 3, pull back over there, and this section is going to be 1, 2, right there, and that's going to be the hair that we've got. I'm going to go ahead, blend this all in. Moving across the form, going back, out, right back down, over 1, 2, 3. Same with right here. Pull the excess off. And there you go. So now we finished the main outline of the head. We can go ahead and move into the inner outlines within the face. So when I'm looking at these outlines right here, I'm thinking mainly of the nose and the mouth. So how to make those? I'm going to go ahead and create a dot right there and a dot right there. 1, 2. We can pull in just like that. There we go. We can pull those in. I'm going to go ahead and grab the plaque right here. We're making the smile. Right? So the smile is the cheeks are being pushed up. Right? We're pushing up the flesh right there. One line to go across for the smile. One line is going to go down to about right there. Another one which is going to curve in. We're going to go right across. Right, there we go. A little bit more black. Blend that in. Now, we can go ahead and outline the teeth. So I'm going to go right in here. Go right up ahead across. Just like that. For the tongue, we're going to go over. Like that. Go ahead and blend in those outlines right there. Just like that. Awesome. Now we can go ahead and fill this in. So go ahead and grab your black and just fill that in, and then blend it in. Just like that. Pulling it across, grabbing sediment, pushing that across. Grabbing what we got right here, pushing that across right there. You can just leave room for the tongue though, making sure not to go inside of that. Keeping those boundaries. Alright. So there you go. So now we got our smile right there. Yeah. Expression. We've outlined that. So now we've just finished the main part of the drawing. Now we can just go ahead and fill it in with the color. I'm going to leave the flesh tone for last because it's a bit more complicated. So with multiple layers, we're doing with the browns, the yellow, oranges, and our white mixed in between right there. Maybe even a little bit of gray depending on the area. So that's just a certain order to that, which will be a little bit more complicated. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the headphones, moving from there, and then I'll talk about how to use the purples for the hair. So let's go ahead and do that. When I'm looking at this, I think perhaps one of the most, one of the parts of the drawing that sticks out to me the most, it's most prominent, is going to be the red headphones since they're so bright as opposed to the rest of the image. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my red here. Stick a little bit away from the outline. So I want to see how much I can blend in with the red without having to just burnish. Without having to burnish, I just kind of want to see how much red we can get right in here without the need to do that. Grab a little bit more. Pushing that in right along the sides right there. More along the sides, pushing up right through there. A little more on the sides right there, pushing that in. There we go, so that's a decent amount of red. I'm going to go up here and do the same thing. This red's going to have 2 layers, so we're going to go back to that in a moment. So we're going to go ahead and put the main layer of red on both sides of the headphones first, then we can go ahead and add the second layer in for the shadows. Get a little bit of texture. So just going in here with the red, going right over what we've got right here. Part of the noise in the background that is our washing machine. I'm going to go ahead and fill this top in right there. Alright, so there we go. There you have it. So there's the main layer of red right there. I'm going to move across to this side and do the same thing. Doing the same, grabbing that red, pushing it in, not too much, staying a little bit away from the outline. I'm going to start blending it in now. Really trying to push those colors. Okay, going up here, doing the same thing, grabbing that red, pushing it to the sides right there, going across right here, and then a little bit. Grabbing some more, pushing that in. Just like that. Okay, so now we've added red to both the sides. We can go ahead and add the next little bit of texture onto that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I talked about the second layer. Second layer here is going to be adding a little bit of black. The headphones are slightly curved, right? So we're dealing with this curvature. We're trying to take this two-dimensional form and make it a little bit more three-dimensional right here. So you're going to grab your black and make these little sort of edge marks going in to show the foam, right? The texture of the foam curving, right? Curving into. So you're going to grab a little bit of red, kind of meld that in, blend the colors together. Just like that. So now we've got the appearance of that sort of moving in. I'm going to go ahead right here, do the same sort of deal. Small edges coming out. There, blending that red in with the black right there, sort of creating those edges. So there we go. So now we got both sides of that done. Now the headphones are complete, so we can go ahead, grab our black right here, fill in these small sections where there's no color. We're going to be around right here. Right there too. So filling those in with some black right there. We can go ahead and start to work on the fur. The fur is going to be interesting, like I talked about. We're using a dark purple and black. So I'm going to start off with the black first. What we're doing is we're going a little bit out, and we're just sort of creating a first line separation between the black and the purple. It's not all purple. I'm trying to show those shadows. So it's kind of like that. I'm really blend this in. Okay? Really just grab your finger and just blend those colors right in. We're going to be going in with the purple here in a minute. Just blending those in. So now we create the first layer of black right there. That means that you can go ahead and grab your purple, add that in between. Going right into here. Not being too careful, just want to add that color, you know? So we're going up here, adding that in. Feel free to just blend away. Not even too worried if the colors mix together all that much. Just more about the overall color mixture we've got going here. So there you go, now you got your purple mixing in. Now that you got your purple, you can go to your light purple. So we're gonna grab a light purple right here. Grab this. I'm just gonna fill this in with the outline of the hair that we got on the outside here. This is gonna be used a little bit more sparingly. Not using a whole lot of light purple, just a decent amount so we can get the bottom layer of this filled in, like so. I'm moving, notice the way in which my finger's moving, it's pushing the light purple out, not pushing the black and dark purple in. Just to make sure that we favor the light purple so that we don't lose the small amount that we have when we're blending. Okay? All right, so now we've just done the bottom layer of the beard. I'm gonna go ahead and move up, and we're gonna do the exact same process, but on the top now. So we're gonna grab the same 3 pieces of chalk here, and this is gonna be using the same process. Add a little bit of black, so I'm gonna go up, maybe go to about right here. Go like that. Grab a few pieces right there. Go up there. Grabbing my black and moving throughout this. Going right over there. Going right through here. Grabbing my finger, I'm blending again, just right through there. Right into what we've already got. Again, it's black right here, so we don't have to be too careful. Just feel free to just blend throughout. Be too worried about it blending into each other. So there we go. So now we're going to grab our dark purple here and move like this. The main portion of this dark purple. And I'm just following along with the lines here with dark purple and moving right throughout the image, right? Grab my finger and blending those together, back and forth. Drawing, moving that throughout, grabbing it here. Pushing that. Even making it a little bit swirled right here. You can do that as well if you don't want it to be, you know, too distinct in the contrast. Just blend them, just like that. There you go. Grab my light pink right here, or sorry, light purple right here, going right in through here, making those highlights. Right up through here. Even that a little bit over like that. Right through there. Here we go. Pushing this through there. Same process all the way along. Pulling that through. Grabbing the chalk right here and pushing that through as well. Right over there. Here you go. So there we just created the separate layers of hair right there. Now comes for the interesting part. We're going to move into the actual facial color, sorry, not the facial color, the face and the flesh color that we're going to be putting into the main frame of the actual image right here. This is what's going to really bring it together. And after we finish that, we can go ahead and add in our white and our red, because those are not going to have any shadows within them. So it's just going to be some real, simple, detailed coloring. So let's go do that right now. As I talked about, that means that we're going to be using our brown, our yellow, our orange, and our white. So let me dust off my hands. I'd recommend cleaning off your hands, even if not with water, just grabbing your rag and just grabbing the excess chalk off of your hands, because we're really dealing with light colors now. So you have a distinction, right? We have a distinction that's going on here. We have this outline of shadow, which is pulling into the image right here. Okay? So this area here and here is darker than this side. What does that mean? Well, that means when we go over this, right? When we're going over this, it's going to be a bit lighter on this side than that side. We're dealing with our light source here again. Talking about that word, light source, our term. Okay? I'm going to start off with a nice layer of this yellow. Start off with that. Going right up over here. Okay. And I'm going to grab a little bit of this brown. We're going to go back over some of our details here. Just solid layers of black for these, so it's okay. It doesn't really matter too much about going over them. It's relatively easy to fix since it's just a solid color. We're not dealing with shading. Okay? So don't worry too much if you go over that. You have some of this excess white, which is sitting here from the early parts of the outline. Don't even worry about that. Just go right over it and go ahead and cover it up, because we don't need to see that anymore. Grabbing a little bit of this orange right here. We know where everything is at this point in the drawing, so we're okay. Giving our character a bit of a tan here. I'm going to go with some white to lighten it up. See, there's a lot of dust picking up here. We've got so many different layers on top of each other. You've got 4 practically. character is really picking up some detail here. I'm just going to go in and blend now. And I'll just add colors as we go. If it turns out there needs to be a little bit more of this one color or this one color. All right. Pushing that down. Going right up over here. Just right over all that. So we will fix it later. It's all right. It's all good. All right, so just go ahead and blend all that in real quick, the layers we already did, and we'll come back and add some more layers. So I blended all the colors that we already had, the layers that we already had, and this is basically what I ended up with. Because of that, since that's what I generally want to be my darker shade, I'm going to go ahead and go over with the white and start to add a bit more and lighten this up a bit. So I'm just going in with the white now and going over this, okay? Going in with some more white over here. Filling this in with some white, lightening up the layers. It's really to taste. You just got to slowly add, blend, figure out if maybe there's even another color out of this that you didn't put enough of. Go back over, add a bit more, see if you like it. If you don't, you can always add a darker color if you think it's too light. I tend to think though, with this many layers, probably won't get too light since we're already this far into the game. If anything, it'll only get darker. So it's best just to add a whole bunch of light colors onto it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead over here. Add some more white up through here. All right, so I like that. I think that's a pretty good shade. Now, for the shadows. For the shadows we're looking at, just as we saw right here, it's this sort of area, right? It's all of this right there. So I'm just going to start off, in this case, with this brown and see where we get. See how far that takes us. Because we don't know. It may end up being that if we take this brown, then it gets us exactly where we want to go. And there's no need for another layer. So I like this right here. I like that. Let's see about right here. This is a bit darker. That's fine. It's a little bit further back than the other side. I'm liking this. I go down, move my finger across, and I'm just going to continue to blend the rest of this. there we go. So I like that. I like that shading that we've got right there. I really like the blending that we've done and the difference between the skin tones. Now let's go ahead and work on the small details and go over these outlines one more time. So going over the outlines one more time, I'm going to pick up my black chalk that I've got right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw that again, blend that a bit more, go over here. Blend that a bit more, over that, this line, that line. Too dark right there. Okay. Go ahead and grab this, grab that. Got our nose back in. And you can go ahead and add a little bit up here if you want. If you think that needs to be a little bit darker, you can go ahead and do that. Go over this area that got a little bit of tan mixed in there. All right. I like that. I think that's about fine for going back over. Maybe a little bit right there. Okay. Now, let's talk about the mouth. For the mouth, we're looking at, and sunglasses, we're looking at white. So I'm going to go in here, add some white. There we go. Now we got our white in there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same up here. A few strokes for the outlines going over here. Straight down there. Grab my finger, blending it in. Right here. There we go, blending that in, going straight down, all the way across. And we got our glare. There we go, and now for the final touch, which is going to be for the mouth, I'm going to go ahead and grab my red right here. Add some in. Going straight down, blending that in, going up, just like that. Blending that in just a bit more, going right through there, going right over. Got my finger, black in. All right, so there we go. So that's our final image. We got everything in. Now, through this episode, you've been able to kind of learn how we do a flesh tone, even though we don't have the exact same colors, right? So how we can grab multiple colors, throw that through with the orange and the yellows and the browns and the whites,
mix those all together to put up to 4, 5, 6 layers. Sometimes we're doing even lighter skin tones, sometimes even more when we're doing darker skin tones, to really get that mix of colors within there so that we can get everything to looking like how we want it to. This is going to be more of a cartoonish design. We also looked at how to do the outlines, just as I was talking about. We have that cartoon look by having the dark, solid, black outer lines that really differentiate it from the surrounding background. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you tomorrow.